What up,
Back.
everybody? I'm Jay the Kid. That's Bro Boy Bray.
Yo, yo.
And right here in the middle, we got LC from 773. And this is episode 6 of Four Ropes Full Podcast. The boys are all three together for a full hour of wrestling talk.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, I don't even want to, spend too much time talking outside of everything right now because we're going to save it for the end. How do we feel about the Motor City Machine Guns debut?
I didn't catch it on Friday Night SmackDown. Had some shit going on, but I peeped what happened last night. I'm madly impressed. They got that chemistry. They got
Hell
that
yeah.
chemistry.
Like when Chris tell you,
Hey,
I showed
mama.
him, I showed him Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah,
So
I definitely remember that shit.
it's
We
just the
played
fact
TNA for
of
hours.
it's legit like the fact that we got a chance to actually see one of our tag team goats. I just thought that was just cool because now we ain't gotta be like, what if the
Right.
hard, what if Street Profits could have went against them, or you know
Shit, reality now.
Xavier Woods go up against them again because Jay Lethal and Xavier
Oh,
used to be
lethal
this group.
consequences.
hmm So it's
Recording.
just like, they could, there's a chance that, if Lethal ain't happy with AEW's direction, he could come to WWE. He could meet up with
They got a
Xavier
bigger
Woods again as
market
a
for
bad
them.
guy. Like,
Facts.
I'm just saying, like, the possibilities are now endless for wrestling just because of Motor City Machine Guns. I thought that I would never see them in WWE. I
I
don't care about too many other tag teams outside of
I kind of
WWE.
knew once it got quiet. Once they got real quiet over there, because remember Shelley was world champion and Sabin was X Division.
Yep,
Yep,
I remember that.
yep. Now they in the company. Like I said, I was very impressed. So especially with them now being in the company, it's definitely going to change up what the men's tag team division is like because they're going to be at the forefront now, and it seems kind of like we're getting closer to like an Usos comeback. So inevitably we're gonna get that Motor City Machine Guns Usos match, and we have to see if them boys gonna cook or not.
I don't think the Usos will let us down.
I don't think so. I think they would try to clown as hard as they could for that match.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that'd be a real good go-to. I gotta see the Usos versus a decent amount of few other teams before they really start. We really get Jay on that world title. But all in all, I'd rather see Jay hold that undisputed more than anything.
You see, I would like it too, but it's just every time a nigga get their hands on that belt,
Hmm.
it get wasted by one motherfucker.
You
Just
talking about
one.
the master, the F5?
This nigga has
This
walked
ain't gonna
down
come back at F5 his ass for no reason.
this
Ain't
ni-
gonna be signed to the damn company. Just gonna come F5 and niggas.
this nigga Brock
Like, I know
Lesnar.
you didn't win this motherfucking belt that I won in 2002.
Like, it makes me so mad every time I see a
Oh,
nigga
man.
with a belt. I know the nigga who gonna beat him is Brock
That's why I'm
Lesnar.
surprised Cody didn't get past this far.
Brock Lesnar has let down more black people.
He took the streak. He whooped Kofi ass in mere seconds.
Honestly, he's bad as Reagan when Reagan put crack in the black community. Like that's the equivalent of what Brock Lesnar is to the black wrestlers in WWE.
Not not Brock Lesnar is Ronald Reagan. That's gonna be a caption. I'm putting that in the captions.
It's
Is
just
Brock Lesnar Ronald Reagan? What?
like there's no way.
Without any context, that is gonna be wild as hell.
When I think of moments in Black history that caused the stress, I'ma think MLK dying. I'ma think Rosa Parks. I'ma think Brock Lesnar. You didn't
Oh
made
shit!
you didn't made more niggas depressed than the Great Depression. I
Not putting his ass up there with global pandemics, bro. That is wild.
Brock made me want to smoke fucking.
here's the thing though. Here's the
Brock made me
thing
want to
though.
smoke cigs, gang. He got me that
Hell yeah.
stressed.
Few
Here's the
packs of
most
Newport joint.
here's the most craziest shit. The last thing that Brock did before he lost the title was beat up Alvarez in the WWE ring
Hell
and
yeah.
beat Kofi Kingston. We went on a pandemic. The nigga lost it in the pandemic. The nigga left for a good amount of time. The nigga came back and took a belt off a nigga and then lost the belt to a motherfucking nigga
Hey,
and then went away. I ain't gonna lie to you, nigga.
storytelling.
My heart kinda opened up a
I'm saying,
little
wasn't
bit.
the last thing Brock did in the company before he went on this hiatus was fucking beat Omos?
He beat a nigga.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, wasn't that the last thing he did was beat a nigga before he left? He's a menace.
Nigga been beating
I
up more
mean, hey,
niggas since
just
LAPD in
it
the
just hey.
90s.
I mean, Rodney had his day in the sun after that one. And yeah, since then it was like, hey,
He make
y'all
he
got y'all got a group of army of niggas. We got Brock Lesnar. Put
he
Brock
did
Lesnar at the front line.
He's a genetic freak. They probably built him for this shit. He like RoboCop.
hold on.
That full time, that's the first nigga that had the super soldier serum.
Here's the thing about this, y'all. You said Rodney King. Brock Lesnar done beat so many niggas, he make Rodney King shit look like a pat down.
It looks small. It's very small.
I ain't seen I ain't seen a single white man go on the street to beat black niggas since the first
The
nigga who caught
clan.
eyes on a slave. Like it's just so crazy to me that Brock is just on this rampage and it makes no sense.
You know when you come back to, he on straight bullshit.
I swear to God, if it's a nigga holding a belt and
It's
Brock
over.
Lesnar music hit, I'm not
Hell
watching
no.
wrestling the
Cody
rest of the month.
after Cody did his California love impression and everything, you know, Cody Jamal Reynolds gonna have to deal with that situation there.
He was a little too tapped in with the community. Brock is gonna want
Hell
him.
yeah, Brock gonna be
You
like,
saw
you
what Brock
too
did to
locked
him after
in
he
with them,
lost to
bro.
Roman. Cody lost to Roman. Said, "Hey Brock, we should team up to fight Roman and Solo." And this nigga Brock still attacks Cody.
He found out Brandy was black. You married
He
a
was like, what
what?
the hell?
Suplex City.
He saw his daughter in the crowd. He said,
Is that baby a
It's funny as hell because it's like Brock about one of the only people on the planet that really love black people. But it's like his
"His
character on
character."
screen destroys every nigga on the planet.
like I ain't gonna lie to you, like Brock Lesnar didn't like read some of the plans for the night and was like, you want me to beat this? You want me to beat him too? He like
Do
the
you
sixth
hear what
black
they
person I
saying
done beat.
about me?
Like, do you
It's
not
like
Bro,
hear?
Rock of every
they throw
title
that check
match.
at his ass. He said, "You know
That
what?
shit is
Never
like,
mind."
It's like I'm,
damn, 55 million for one night? Okay.
but it's
Josh,
just like
throw the nigga on his neck a few times.
it's just like it makes no sense. It's like he looking at the list like, yeah, like this the sixth nigga. Like I'm 6-0 against niggas for belts. Like,
If you think about it, it really started with Shelton Benjamin and The Rock. Because remember, him and Shelton was partners.
oh yeah.
And Rock was his first real go-to opponent on that. Yeah, even though Samoan, but yeah,
They can still say
it's
it.
Rock. Right, Rock. He's still one of the niggas.
I, I can
That'd be a
understand.
caption too. It's Rock a nigga?
That'll get everybody buzzing.
That would be if that's the shit that would make
Oh
us
yeah.
blow up is us asking is the rock a nigga
I mean, like if
would
we
be
gonna be real, it's a
crazy.
very serious debate because like they're Samoan. They're technically not African, but
Bro,
their
in
ancestors.
today's day and age, it's like with the
It's
word,
like
who really give a fuck? But it's like,
it's
yeah,
not saying
it's
like
our
nowadays.
people.
Like of course we accept them niggas, but one thing I can't accept is them niggas having a better grade of hair than us. I hate Roman's luxurious locks.
I'm just mad.
Not
I'm just
Aqua,
mad
man.
that it's so many niggas in the Samoan family. Like everybody got a cousin in this motherfucker.
Everybody got a cousin that's
Yeah,
wrestling in this motherfucker.
bro, it's the bloodline. It's literally the bloodline.
You saw that fat ass
You
screw they
seen that
showed
big
earlier
ass
this year.
family
Kelsey,
tree?
you saw that
Right,
fat
Bray,
ass screw
tell
they
them
showed
again.
earlier this year. I
You
was
see
like,
how many
damn. I was
motherfuckers
like,
on that
hold
list
on.
that haven't even been in WWE yet? It's just some of the immediate family that was there. They had Jacob and Zilla up there, and they weren't even in the company yet.
They got a whole
It
ass
just make no
lineage.
sense. Like these niggas have been wrestling as a family for like over 50 to 60 years.
Yeah, High Chief, he was in the first James Bond movie.
Did you know that?
I did not.
That's
Yeah,
an interesting
I
ass
was
fact.
watching Young Rock on Peacock, and he was going into detail, about his life story and everything. But yep, his High Chief, he was the first one.
I might have to check that out then. I thought that shit was gonna be boring. I ain't gonna lie to
Now I
you.
heard it's
Bro, it
actually
was
pretty
actually a
entertaining.
good watch. He grew up around literally the golden era of all the wrestlers. Shit, he was
Ah,
learning from Andre himself.
so he got a fresh hand of that racism from Hulk Hogan.
Oh,
What you gonna do, little
very
nigga? I
fresh.
mean, little brother.
Before he was Hulk, he got that iteration of him. They
Before
say
he was
Hulk
the
was made racist with the real American shit. That's how he became.
That nigga name is Terry. He been had it. He been had that
That's
shit.
why the
That nigga,
macho don't fuck with him. He said,
boy.
"Oh no."
Him and the macho used to be at it, boy.
you know. And since we already talking about Samoans, we might as well just go ahead and get into Bloodline versus Bloodline. When does the battle begin?
Or whose side are you on?
You know what? We can answer that too. But do you think they start this early by letting Jay drop the title, which I hope they don't do?
They better
I
not
really, I
take the
really
belt
hope they
off
don't
Jay.
make Jay drop the title, but I have like a really gut wrenching feeling that they are.
Like, I don't feel like I hope it's not this Monday, but I hope it's like a pay-per-view, like getting close to Survivor Series.
I feel
Yeah,
like
it got to be a big pay-per-view.
out of respect, like he's gonna have to drop it at Crown Jewel. If he's gonna drop it anywhere, because if you just have him drop it on a Monday night, it's just not gonna seem like shit, really.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of that weekly show dropping the belt shit, then have somebody pick it up on the pay-per-view just to have them drop it again on the regular show or a fucking live show at that.
That's what I'm saying. Like I hate when they have title
Yeah.
swaps on just regular TV. Like it's dope, but I feel like it happens too frequently to where like it loses the essence of getting to see a title change.
Yep.
Or a championship
Because it's
crown.
like shit.
Exactly.
Cause I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie
like
to you, Aaliyah winning the tag team titles with Raquel. I ain't gonna lie to you, that was a good moment right there.
Yeah.
Like that shit was like, I was like, oh, okay, like this was worth it. Then everybody doubted the women's tag team division. The ending
mhm.
wasn't bad. It wasn't good. I would say like it's in the middle. Like it was a smooth ending. It's something that if you was using to boost her, you did a good job by doing it. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, since she left, I ain't heard from her since. But when she won that title with Raquel and shit like that, they looked like a fairly good tag team. And then Liv Morgan came, and then I
Hey, you gotta
digress.
give it up for Leah. Right now to be one of the top heel women
Nah,
in
she
wrestling.
cool. She cool. She cool. She
Yeah.
cool. I ain't gonna diss her or nothing like that. I'm just saying that when Aaliyah got injured. Liv Morgan came straight through that door and became a champion.
Hey,
Do you think Liv Morgan would have got that
somebody gotta
though?
do it.
Do you think Liv
I
Morgan would have
mean,
got that though if Aaliyah didn't get injured?
Nah, they would have. I
I, I,
mean,
necessarily, I
I
necessarily
think
think
Liv would have eventually
otherwise.
got to the place she is where she is
Yeah.
currently, but they also I still feel like book Liv very frequently. Like I feel like she doesn't have like a
Mhm.
very consistent booking, but that's just kind of like the women's division in general. Like unless you're
Hell
like one
yeah.
of the top stars like Rhea Ripley, like you're not getting consistent booking.
hmm Yeah,
And I've
like
noticed that because I've always like Liv since I started
the hell
watching
is
back
her
in
name?
2022, and it's just like I've noticed like I'm like her shit is very shaky. Like her shit is very shaky. And it's not because
Mm.
of her, it's just the way they book her. Like you can't help it. Like
Yeah, she getting like comfortable
her
now.
first world title run with the SmackDown Championship, she was going against fucking Ronda Rousey. How do you properly book somebody against her when you have only booked Ronda Rousey to be this dominant force? That's why it fucking sucks.
Beating up Triple H and shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why Liv's first title reign sucks.
Okay, okay. See, I can get what y'all saying, but let's just remember, before she came to the roster, she was in NXT,
Right.
still getting that ass tapped.
Yeah. And then she was Riot Squad. So Riot Squad, I mean, you know, they're gonna only see you as either a trio or a tag team superstar.
Like, I'm not gonna say
Whenever
she
you
didn't
stuck in a
have
tag
the
team like that.
like I'm not gonna say she didn't have the moments to where, she could have shown out a little bit more, but at the same time, you get what you get.
Right.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
Akira Tozawa has been nothing but a losing streak. But when he was debuted into the WWE, he showed that he had a motor to go with anybody in his weight class and maybe even on up. Akira Tozawa right now is doing a dance, and niggas are in the background saying that's nasty.
Mhm.
He is making the best out of his weak moments. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of wish Tozawa, like, they would bring back a cruiserweight belt,
They still like
but just
Burgess on.
That's the
defend it on
WWE
one
speed
show.
belt.
I was that, but see
Ain't
that
nobody
speed,
trying to watch that
but see that
shit.
The
speed. That's
3 minute
what
Twitter match
I
shit.
ain't I
What
ain't
I was
trying to
already
watch
telling y'all
that.
I hate
as a
anyway.
person who is frequently on Twitter, I don't want to watch a 3 minute fucking match because a 3 minute match is not going to be engaging in any capacity. Like I know, like they're on a time limit, like they're going to be doing specific spots, so it's not going to have that same effect of like, oh shit, this can go either way. Like it'll
It's
be
gonna
pretty
be
obvious who's
highly
going to win.
choreographed.
Yep,
It ain't
highly
gonna be no
choreographed,
type
very
of
scripted.
like. It ain't no
You're gonna
story to it.
exactly like
It's
nobody
gonna
cares about speed. Like they really should have made speed like just like something that happens that they
That's
do like
part of the show.
yeah like
They
when
making
they do commercials.
they making born like spot segments for that
No,
shit.
literally. So
Yeah,
for
even if they
example,
do it like like through the 3 minute hold or something, you know.
literally like for example when AEW came to Champagne, prior to the show starting before they started filming, they actually did a couple like just random matches. I'm thinking you
Right.
do something like that, but you record them so that like you could just upload them to Twitter and shit. Like here's a speed match that happened on Raw
Yeah,
the other
here's
night.
what happened during the
But
live event.
actually show the fucking belt because what the fuck is the point of having a speed title if we're not even gonna acknowledge it unless it's on social media?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's the stupidest shit.
Candice LeRae not coming out with the championship, but talking about the championship on SmackDown made no sense.
I was very confused. Like that's the thing. I don't even know who the fucking champion is right now. And the fact that she's the champion, the only way I figured that out was pretty much by seeing her and Indy thing. I'm like, when the hell did that get switched over? I didn't know it was a cross gender belt. I didn't know anybody could just win that motherfucker. If that's the case,
Not
we could have been booking matches for that long ago. That's the
Right.
one belt you can
That's what I'm
have on
saying. Like
TV.
it just seems like a title just to have a title.
but here's the
Yeah,
thing
it's
though.
24/7.
Basically, yeah.
But the only reason why I have a full problem with that is just for this reason alone.
Mhm.
After this agreement with Twitter is over with for y'all to air this shit, what happens to the belt? What happens to the championship? Do y'all disband the championship like it meant nothing, like the greatest
Drop that
Royal
motherfucker in the
Rumble?
trash can.
I didn't even want to mention Nikki Cross, but shit, you brought it up. Fuck it. Throw
Hey,
that
that
bitch in the
motherfucker
trash
failed. She
can on the
tried to
way
do the
out.
Medusa. She missed.
So it's just like it makes no sense to me for real, like where this championship is gonna go. But I got an idea. WWE, you just gotta rock with me when I say it. Let me put myself on full screen real quick. Let me just zoom in just a little bit more, just so y'all can see me. Hold on, let me put the microphone in my hand too. Change it to a new title once it's done. If we are going to get this title and supposed to care about this title when it's over with, make it a new title. I don't care if you got to make it a cruiserweight. I don't care if you want to make it a European. I don't care what you want to do. but make it a new title. If that's gonna be the third title once this Twitter agreement shit is over with, go ahead and make that the women's intercontinental or some shit like that. Or you can
I
just
would have
say
loved to
fuck
see
it.
that.
But here's the thing though. Don't do that for the women just yet. Make Candice LeRae a number one contender for that championship because technically she didn't win it.
Yeah, so you can't just
Yeah, you
straight up
can't
give it to
just
her,
give it to her.
but she
But
should
you,
definitely be the first person to
yes.
challenge for it.
And the same
Hell
thing
yeah.
with the men, if that's the case. I'm not saying bring in a new title. I'm saying, hey, you can go contend for the US, you can go contend for the Intercontinental. Those are the only two titles you can get with this belt. Kind of like how TNA got with the option C. When the person wins the X Division Championship, they get a chance
Hell
to
yeah.
go wrestle for the world title if they give the belt up.
Always
What?
love option C.
What? Exactly.
Even though he an asshole, shout out Austin Aries.
Yeah, facts. I ain't gonna lie to you. But we got off a full fucking subject because we was supposed to be talking about the bloodline.
Hey,
So
this is how wrestling goes for anybody that's passionate
I was,
about it, that love it. You will
this,
never
I was
stay
saying,
on
this is the
topic.
business. You never stay on topic.
Yeah.
very true. So do we think that they're like do we for sure know that the Rock is on Solo side or do we think the Rock is his own man?
I think The Rock's on Solo side. I think he's the
Uh,
big cojones
man.
calling all the
Ooh,
shots.
I think he been behind the scenes doing it. Yeah, like Bray said, I think he is on Solo side, but then it's like he could easily switch over to where it's like, why am I still on your side when all you've been giving me is losses?
Well, see, I think the way he's using Solo is Solo's just a puppet to distract Roman
Yeah,
from the bigger picture of like The Rock is really the one doing all
that's
this
after
scheming and
him.
plotting behind all this shit. Because you got to think about it. Even when before Roman and Cody was officially announced, it was supposed to be Roman versus Rock, and they was
Right.
building up to be that. So like, I
Yeah,
think
for
this is all
Hollywood
just
and
a.
everything.
I think this is just an all big fuck you to Roman that's about to come to a head, and he's about to see that like all his past doings of treating these people like shit, treating all his family like complete shit when he was the tribal chief, is gonna come back to bite him in the ass.
But but the one thing I will say is that when Roman Reigns was the tribal chief, at least you ain't hate this nigga as much. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's not a moment where I don't think to myself, Solo ain't shit.
Oh my fucking god.
Because you know what? I'm not saying they got the better bloodline, but what I'm saying is Jacob and Tamatanga, not Tongaloa. I get a laugh out of that nigga, but like he a
Man,
comedic
Tonga
crash
used
out.
to be so different. He used to be so different, bro.
Now
And
that
it's
nigga's
like,
just a
I was
streaker.
a Gorilla of Destiny's fan. Like I was a God fan to end of it. It was like, yeah, Bullet Club, but God was when you think tag team wrestling, I wanted to see them versus Motor City for the WWE titles. And then this was like 2010. So this before they even really had that run with the World Heavyweight IWGP titles.
But it's just the fact that the Usos was considered crash outs at a good amount of time during this bloodline thing. Jay was popping off at
Oh yeah.
niggas. Jimmy was popping off at niggas, but laughing about it. Solo was just
Before he
gonna
cut his
go at
hair.
any point.
They was just a bunch of fucking demons
Like
terrorizing the WWE.
like these niggas was crashing out. It did this nigga went to go get independent crash outs
hmm
and brought him into WWE. I ain't gonna lie to you. When I first seen Tamba put that ass whooping on Jimmy, I was like, there's no way that you put your hands on me in the middle of the ring like that, and I don't fight you for real once this show off. Cause I ain't
Hey,
gonna lie to you, he was
they
stumping
family's
Jimmy.
been locked in forever.
Like
But them
I'm gonna hit
motherfuckers
y'all with a
still.
JR quote. My JR quote for that was he's stumping a mud hole in his ass right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like There's no way you could be my cousin and we don't throw hands after that.
Hey, they went to the Waffle House after.
Waffle House my ass. A biscuit ain't gonna solve my beef with you, nigga. A biscuit not
They
gonna
not
solve
after
it.
ass whooping like that. You gotta see me.
Like
You
I ain't gonna
gotta
lie to
see
you.
me, bro.
You got to see me in the locker room.
So it's just like it
Thankfully,
makes
they got their own locker room.
nah, nigga. I ain't gonna lie to you. You still gotta come see me.
I'm catching your ass in the hallway.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Like you gotta just crash
I'm
it.
doing them like
Gotta
Brett
wait
did
behind the
Vince.
curtain.
I'm
Yeah.
doing them like Brett did Vince in Montreal.
Like I ain't gonna lie
Like,
to you, nigga.
okay,
You gotta see me.
okay.
I'm coming to
I'm
you,
gonna wait
nigga.
till I
I'm not
see
even
you.
gonna give you the chair. I'm coming directly to you.
So
I'm
it's
gonna
just
find
like
you.
I just think like when it comes down to this though, I think that Brock could be his own person in this situation because he didn't acknowledge Solo. He ain't through this entire thing, he has never came back and basically gave this shit to Solo.
And that's what I'm
He never
saying.
Right.
acknowledged Solo after the goddamn pay-per-view that they lost. He didn't acknowledge it. He literally was worried about Roman, Jimmy, Cody. He never once pointed over by Solo and said, "This is your show, nigga. I'm out of this bitch."
And Solo is so bloodthirsty and not even fucking realizing that he's being played harder than Roman was trying to play him. Because that's the thing. Solo was very smart. He understood that Roman was trying to manipulate him, but didn't fall for that shit. But now
Mm.
he's getting manipulated even harder by The Rock, and not even fucking realizing it. Like the shit that Roman was trying to have him do really wasn't even that fucked up. But the shit that The Rock has him doing is really tearing apart.
Crashed out.
It's crashing
Tear the
out.
family apart.
Literally tearing the family apart.
But wait, what y'all think of this? During this Bloodline versus Bloodline match at War Games, because we pretty much all know it's gonna be a Bloodline match in War Games, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. It definitely needs to.
Okay, so since we already agree on that, how about we get halfway through the end point of the match? Right before that, lights turn dark. Rock just randomly pops up from underneath the ring. Nigga cut a hole, jump through the motherfucker, whatever. He comes through, rock bottoms Roman. Solo gets the pin. They win more games. The crowd is booing the hell out of everybody. Rock holds up Solo hand, and as soon as Solo turns around, it's Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu hitting that nigga with a super kick.
Hell
And
yeah.
now they beating the hell out of Solo. Now Solo has to defend himself against them. And he ain't got no help now because
He
guess
ain't got
what?
no type of
You
backup.
just fucked us over. Now Solo got to come all the way back to WrestleMania to prove his loyalty back to his family. Now you get kind of a little sympathy from Solo after he just went on this crash out. But at the same time, now you get a chance to be like, you implement your idea. It's all in my head. It was all in your head. You thought you had it. You didn't have my permission. You didn't have my authority. You didn't have the power to do it. You brought the idea up, but I actually made the calls to get Jacob and Tama.
They were never working for you.
They were
They were watching you.
always they was always under the final bosses.
They was just there to keep your ass in check.
And it's just like I think if they did that, that would
Oh,
be
that
so
would be
fantastic.
perfect. Oh, that would be fucking perfect. And have like what Solo versus Jacob. Then you have the Usos versus the Tama twins, and
Like
then Roman versus Brock.
Sabin.
I just think that the Rock like hitting that shit off. I think that would low key make it so much memorable. Like
Sabin.
you can make a whole WWE playlist out of this shit
Oh
right now,
yeah.
but you adding a turn into another turn.
We need Brock to do another one of those promos like he did against Cody when he beat the hell out of him on that Monday Night Raw, where he kind of just explains everything like, yeah, this is my shit. There's a reason I'm called the final boss. Like I said, you're the tribal chief, but above that's the final boss. I think this shit is all building up to that. It's gonna come to a big head in WrestleMania 41.
Yep,
WrestleMania 41 is gonna be fucking classic.
definitely gonna be a movie.
Oh yeah, they finna clown, especially with the rumor that Cena may go against Gunther for the World Championship. It's a rumor, obviously. We far out from that. I'm just saying.
John Cena sneaking into that world championship match. I ain't fucking with that.
You don't like that idea?
I don't like that. John Cena, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't think John Cena like that shit. I don't think he care about the world like breaking that record no more.
I
I
don't think
legit
it's
think
about
he
breaking the record. It's just having that match against Gunther more, say. Just doing it on a grand stage to where, you know, they would both, Cena would get that last Mania match, win or lose. Because I'm not saying give him the belt. Like, hell no, don't give Cena the belt.
uh,
But I think it would just be a good match to have. Just Gunther versus Cena, them beating the absolute shit out of each other.
yeah, but
Okay, Bray, I see
honestly,
you. Hell yeah.
I feel you and I can respect it. But Gunther is freshly new in WWE. I mean, freshly new in pro wrestling. Granted, he been on the independent scene for a bunch of years,
Right.
but I'm talking about in WWE, the top guy. He was the top guy in NXT UK. He was top guy in NXT for a little bit, but we are talking about the big fucking dog right now. The big dog, he got his own brand. He's got the main title on that brand. He's going to be carrying it for a while. John Cena, great WWE vet, can still do a few things, can still pick up a lot of people. Because I didn't expect him to pick up Solo with ease. I expect him to pick up Roman with ease and Mania and get out the ring as quick as he did. But John Cena's at that age, at that old ass age where if we gonna send him off, we need to send him off with a familiar face. John Cena has never dealt with a nigga like Gunther, but he's dealt with a nigga like Randy Orton.
Mm.
He's dealt with a nigga like The Rock. He's dealt with a nigga like Kurt Angle, who's willingly said that he will do one more match. If you could do John Cena versus Kurt Angle and have that be your send off, he came into the WWE smacking Kurt Angle. He could
That would be a
leave
perfect.
WWE
Have
beating
a
or losing to
ruthless
Kurt Angle.
aggression moment. That'd be different.
Like, there's points here that if John Cena's gonna leave WWE, he needs to leave versus a formidable opponent. And the only other nigga that I would want to see, maybe the only three other people I'd want to see. As much as number three is gonna hurt me to say, Brock Lesnar. They had
I
some shit
understand.
back in the day. They
That's
had some
understandable. I would say
shit
that one's understandable.
in the ruthless aggression era. And as much as you done killed a bunch of niggas' careers, you have also had some very, very randomly good matches with John Cena. To where it looked like y'all really wanted to fuck each other up.
Oh,
Like
when
John
Brock came
Cena,
back and was beating the shit out of John, I thought he was actually gonna kill John Cena.
I ain't gonna lie to you. John Cena with the bloodied up mouth running back at Brock Lesnar. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought that nigga said fuck hustle, loyalty, and respect. Like, all right, nigga, let's get it. Cause you hit me a little too hard. This ain't the UFC no more, bitch.
Man, when Brock
Hey,
came back from the UFC, he was dead ass
that's all
beating
he
up
needed,
niggas. He was dead ass
right?
beating up
That's why
niggas.
I'm like, I don't know how they expect him to translate that. You go from literally beating niggas to death to you have to
You saw the
They
restrict how
way he
you
did
they
throw
did
those
Randy.
punches.
they did pretty well. I ain't gonna lie to you. Niggas did a
Hell
good
no, he hit
job.
you Braun in the face. Braun got all types of physical contact.
See,
That shit would never not be
Braun
funny. He pieced the
shouldn't have
shit
played
out of
with his
Braun
ass.
Breaker. He pieced the fuck out of his ass.
Wait,
Had
Braun
Buddy
Breaker?
Dave.
Wait, we talking about
I'm
Braun
not
Breaker or
Braun Breaker,
Braun
Braun Strowman.
Strowman? I was
You
gonna
remember in
say,
the Royal Rumble match
Yeah,
where he
Strowman.
like actually
Strowman.
like hit his ass too hard and Brock said, wink wink,
I
had
got
Buddy
you. Hit
ass
him in the face.
stun
He
locked.
said,
Man,
slow that shit down. I'm like,
Literally
oh,
had
man.
had bro like, hold on.
I just wonder, like, what was Braun Strowman thinking? Like, should I get up and beat this nigga ass? And then he realized that it was Brock Lesnar, and like
He
hell
got
yeah,
to
hey,
nah.
he
He
got
probably
him a
got
little
hit that
dizzy
hard
for
and
a second.
realized like, nah, I don't want that smoke. Because he probably
Like,
forgot he was a
nah.
new ex-UFC champion. He probably forgot that he only left UFC because he
Hey,
lost once.
He was gonna break his motherfucking arms and legs in that ring, and then they was really gonna have a lawsuit on their hands. Way worse than what's
Definitely,
going on right now.
definitely would. But that pay-per-view would have sold out that night.
Man,
I would have bought
Hmm.
that. I would have bought that
that
shit.
news would have hit. Niggas would have been like, hold on, run back that pay per view right now.
Everybody.
Nigga, the whole
But it's
world
like
would have been
that's a
on
moment
fire.
you definitely remember because it's
Oh,
like you saw those punches,
Brock Lesnar dropped off 5 ass whoopings to Braun Strowman and went to the
and then they
hospital and gave
proceeded to
him
let them
6
do
more.
otherwise.
But you know, I want to talk about something else that AEW, after Wrestle Dream, they do the little promo, talking about, Will or not joining, not seeing the bigger picture. And then we finally hear the bigger picture, the promo of this nigga basically saying, this is my company now, you work for me. And then all of those wrestlers coming to the ring and getting beat up by these niggas. It reminded me of the Shield for a minute. Does his faction look good? Yes. But what you're telling me is now, Bray, is that Jon Moxley, Castanoli, Willa Yuta, Cerebra, whatever the fuck her name
I
is,
know you got. I guess
respectfully,
I haven't looked for your name to save my life.
and then fucking Pac. So these niggas are finna change the course of wrestling for AEW. But what does the course lead to? Is y'all just gonna be more extreme now? Is that what it means? Like, does
I
this mean that
mean,
they are finna take over literally and have every title? Do these niggas become their own shield? Like, what the fuck are we building here with this Blackpool Combat Club shit now? Because it
I'm gonna
makes
be
no
perfectly
sense.
fine with Pac holding any belt at any company,
Well,
simply
I'm not.
because it's Pac. But I
Here's the
mean,
thing.
when you look at it now, it's like shit.
Here's the thing. I'm not mad at it now. I'm not mad if they get titles, but what does this mean? He said y'all work for me. So is this literally finna be some NWO type shit where he just gotta have the fucking roster on his side and then it's half that roster against that's gonna play bad guys? So we got all the bad guys on him now. Now all the good guys are right there battling each other each week. You know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like developmental wrestling. That sounds like WWE's goddamn training camps and shit like that. You're gonna pretend to be a bad guy. You're gonna pretend to be a good guy, and y'all gonna face off against each other. It makes no sense then, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd like to see a bad guy go up against a bad guy. I would love to see Jon Moxley go up against Pac, but them niggas a team now. I would love to see goddamn I would love to see Antonio Castanoli. I'd love to see him go up against Buddy Matthews.
In
I
fact, you still
know
call him Antonio. His name Claudio now.
it's
Yeah, Claudio Castagnoli.
Claudio.
Claudio Antonio Cesaro, Claudio Castanoli, macaroni and cheese. I don't give a fuck. Y'all know
This
who I'm
nigga said
talking about.
macaroni and cheese.
Like like
Oh
The
man.
Swiss nigga with the mean uppercut. If I say that, that describes Shame. That describes this nigga pretty well. I swear to God, I almost called this nigga Sheamus. Because guess what? He didn't been around all of this shit. I ain't
Hell
gonna lie to
no,
you.
man.
I would have forgot about Sheamus 5 years ago if he wasn't with Cesaro at the time.
Niggas the
Facts.
bar.
Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, me and Bray John sat out there and talked about it for a second. It's just like, having that longevity, of like long term booking with this best of 5 series. I think that like that probably was the best of I mean, I'm sorry, I said best of 5. I meant best of 7 series because Cesaro and Sheamus put on a great ass 7 matches. Back to
Oh
back to
yeah.
back to back to back to back to back. I ain't gonna lie to you, that those matches get not thought about pretty well. Just like the New Day versus the Viking Raiders when they had that Vikings match on SmackDown.
Oh yeah,
That
that's
was a
definitely not
great
talked about enough.
match. That wasn't.
Yeah, a lot of people trying to talk bad about it because it was supposed to be a gimmick match, but it's like it's sports entertainment. You complaining about the product that you watch and when you already know what it is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't complain about the gimmicks. Complain about how the gimmicks are implemented. Because
Right, it
like
ain't pro wrestling.
we've seen good gimmicks implemented in matches. We've also seen shitty gimmicks implemented in matches. It's not about the matches having gimmicks. It's about how are they being implemented into this match? How is this progressing the story that these wrestlers are trying to portray in this ring? Don't just do a
Hell yeah,
gimmick just
because
for the fact of a gimmick.
right, you expect the Viking Raiders to have a Viking match. It's like New
Exactly.
Day having pancakes on the outside of the ring. It's some shit you expect for them.
But going back into the topic, what do y'all feel AEW is going to do with this Blackpool Combat Club shit? Are we looking at a new NWO? Are we looking at a Shield type group that just seems unstoppable, like the Nexus? Like, are we looking at a faction?
I think it's gonna be some shit kind of like Shield Nexus type. I don't think it's necessarily gonna be some like NWO shit where it's like they're genuinely running the company. I think it's kind of what like Moxley was kind of saying in his promo where it's like he genuinely hates the way that the company has been going because of some of this shit that some of these wrestlers are doing. Like these motherfuckers getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars per year to sit on their ass and not do shit. Like he
Blame
was
the nigga
making.
that wrote the check.
I was saying
Yeah, it
that
needs to
is
be its
true.
own thing. If
Like
it's his own thing, it'd be better off.
that's what I'm
Because
saying.
if
Like I'm
they
like
tried too
it's
much to be
very
like the other ones, that shit it's gonna flop
they're gonna
instantly.
have to make
We've
this unique
seen
for it to stand
NWO.
out because it like Chris is saying, like yeah, they can very much just
Yeah,
make this seem like any other faction saying they're gonna be taking over a fucking company, what we've seen thousands of times. But it's like
right.
how is this gonna be different? What's gonna make this unique? So honestly I'm quite interested. I wanna give it like, that's I wanna kinda give it like 3-4 weeks to see how it pans out, about a month's time to see if we do get anywhere from here. Because I don't want to judge it just off the bat, but I definitely understand where you're coming from, Jesse. Like, of just what is this gonna look like in the future? So I'd say we have to probably revisit this topic in about a month and see what stories have progressed from it and what character developments we've seen from the AEW roster from this whole situation.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
You
because they
know,
could easily take off now, and next thing you know, they're trying to do a big payoff at like what's they like all out or
World's
all
End,
in.
I would say like
Yeah, like
World's End is the
World's End.
last
Yeah,
last pay per view for the year. Yeah,
right. So pretty much it'd just be if they really gonna add to the faction or it's gonna be a complete takeover like all belts. But it's like they got a lot of different belts. Are they gonna take over each brand that they pretty much have? It's like they're gonna go over from, ROH, take the rest of that thing that they had over there. Just about what Claudio been world champion over there. You got
right.
easily put Pac for pure, but it's like Wheeler has pure, if I'm not mistaken. He has a pure title, right? Right. So it's like, that opens up tag titles. Marina Shafir, she could easily hold any of the women's world titles. So it's like, I mean, they have the capabilities to do something with that group, but it can't be an NWO faction. We've seen that be done everywhere. Shit. NWO
Exactly.
had sub factions in Japan and everywhere else for a minute. That's what low key kind of like progressed with the Bullet Club situation. But
you
they
gotta
kind of
blame
did
them
their
niggas
own
for the
shit.
reason they got factions now. Hell, them niggas the
Yeah,
reason we got 7 different variations of the goddamn Bullet Club.
That is true.
you
Bullet
got the
Club
War
Gold, Bullet
Dogs,
Club,
Bullet
fucking
Club Gold, shit. They not even Bullet Club Gold no more. They what Bang Bang Gang or some shit.
Yeah, Bang Bang Scissor Gang. Like, what the fuck?
what the wait what?
Swear to God. Well, I mean, it's
Yeah,
broken up now, but
that was
they like
with
had it.
they was with the Acclaimed
I was like,
and
what the fuck are they doing to my Bullet Club, man?
yeah, yeah, and then you got I guess the other factions in New Japan still that's like that, but I mean that's what kind of like watered down the whole. It's its own thing. The Shield was just 3 guys. The Nexus was a group set of guys, but it was its own thing. They
Like
did they
7 niggas.
takeover
Yeah, it was
completely
like seven
different.
niggas or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
So
like
I
you gotta
definitely want to
separate
see.
that.
For sure, yeah. I definitely want to see how this pans out because, like, I mean, like, all these guys in this faction have really already established themselves and are like huge ass fucking wrestlers. So it's just like, what are we gonna do with this? Because like this faction should be pretty unfucking stoppable. Like, it
It's
should be
just
very hard for somebody to really try to whoop their ass. But I mean, we got good talent like Will Ospreay, Swerve, Hangman. Like, we got people that could very
Yeah,
much challenge them. But it's like, what are they gonna be able to
they're
do
gonna
with
do
it?
another like Team AEW versus Blackpool Combat
See,
Club. Pretty
that's what
much,
I
that's what
don't
I'm
fucking
seeing.
want. That's what I
Right, I kind
don't
of see that
fucking want.
happening though at
I
this
can
point
see it
because it's
happening,
like
but I'm like,
you all work for me now.
I feel like that just would not be good for product.
Nah, it's like make another faction that's its own. Even if you do like Don Callis family versus Blackpool Combat Club, they
that's
got
gonna be an
they kind of have some
obliteration.
history, but it's
That's
like
gonna be some obliteration.
yeah,
You
especially
know
with
damn
Lance
well
Archer,
anything
his
will.
new persona at this point, bro. I don't know. I kind of see they was calling him like a Drew,
Drew
uh,
McIntyre.
yeah,
Drew
Drew
McIntyre light.
McIntyre slash Damian Priest. They were trying to
Boy,
like Drew Priest or some shit like that, but it's like no, Lance Archer. He always been different. So like, hopefully this new change to him is gonna be something worth watching. But it's like, bro,
that shit ain't
it's
going
not too
nowhere.
many
Too many
different
niggas on their
looks.
roster.
Yeah, it's too many niggas on the roster, but at the same time, who gonna stand out the most?
Exactly. That's
And
really what AEW's issue is roster inflation. They got too many niggas on the roster and not enough
I didn't expect
storylines
that
to
shit
go
to fucking
around.
happen, to be honest. Right
No, I
then and
never
there.
thought it would happen, but it's like Tony Khan keeps signing niggas.
Hey,
Very
he was
true.
like, "No, what? Fuck it.
Told
I
you.
got some for
I
you."
mentioned this shit in like episode 4.
But
Check out
that's one
episode
thing I
4, by
love
the way.
about it. That's one
Level
thing I
of
love
plug,
about
bro.
it. Hell yeah.
But
Put up a little thing for that.
you know what? I wanna I wanna skip to my 20-minute rant because I've been waiting because Brajan he heard it because we were sitting out there talking before the show. What was we doing? Mind your business.
Grown folk talk.
But we are gonna start this 20-minute wrestling rant. I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer in just a second, but we are gonna today's question for 20-minute wrestling rants. Chris, would you rather lose the world title at the main event of WrestleMania to Eugene
Mm, they
or lose the Royal Rumble match to Hornswoggle? Go
Oh,
ahead and
that's
let the time
easy.
begin.
That's easy. I would easily lose the motherfucking Royal Rumble to Hornswoggle because it's fucking Hornswoggle. And it's like this is nothing against Eugene, but at the same time, I always had that respect for his character because it's like
He
when he
made it
first
work.
came in, he made it work. It was like, bro, they gave him shit, but they literally gave Eugene shit, and they was only gonna make it worse by putting the world title on Eugene at WrestleMania by trying to, sympathize the character for that. That's where it kind of like, wait, around 2010 to 15, that was not gonna work, and it was easily gonna get, some backlash for that shit. Even though Hornswoggle, he's a credible wrestler. If they just would have dropped Eugene's character and just let him be himself, or just let him be a wrestler, easily drop the belt to Eugene, no problem. It's like they could easily went from that to he progressed into a smarter version of himself. But it's like fuck that up with all right, who's pretty much gonna be doing this and that, who's gonna pretty much have the time and effort to go through with that shit. Hornswoggle, at least, he's won a few different championships at that point. You can lose the Royal Rumble to him. He can go to WrestleMania. You know, that could be a match for them. Eugene versus Hornswoggle.
Yeah,
I
nigga,
could
you
book
ain't
that in
gonna.
like 10 minutes.
Yeah, nigga, you ain't gonna cheat your way out of this one, nigga.
Well, that's why I say I'm losing the Royal Rumble to Hornswoggle.
You know,
At least I could have a good last 5-10 minute match with him to show like, all right, he deserves to have that.
I
I
ain't
can
gonna lie
easily
to you, gang.
fly over the ropes and fuck myself up.
Gang. See, I hear you. That's all I can say about it. But, nigga, Ray John hit me with a great point today. He said, and I quote, I can lose the world title to Eugene at Mania and get a rematch. I can't beat, I can't lose to Hornswoggle and demand a rematch at the Royal Rumble. So if I lose to Hornswoggle, I just lose
Mhm.
to Hornswoggle. I don't get no get back. I gotta watch that little ass nigga go to the top of the goddamn rope, and it's gonna take him a few minutes to get on each one, going all the way to the goddamn top and pointing at the WrestleMania sign and just see a bunch of little ass sparklers go around the ring because he too little for grown up fireworks. They want to make a gimmick out of that shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. That would make me mad. I gotta sit
Oh
out there
man.
looking defeated as I'm watching the nigga that's built like my daughter go to WrestleMania. You want to see this little ass nigga galloping down the ring to Mania?
Yes.
This could be my
I'd
moment.
rather, I'd rather do that than what they gonna do to Eugene. They gonna feed Eugene to a motherfucking monster, bro. And he not gonna be able to come back from that. He not gonna get a rematch. He getting fired right after that. Eugene is gone literally after he win a world title.
Like
They gonna kill his
after he
ass
dropped
off
it.
easy. Bro, he gonna lose it on the Raw right after Mania. And his ass not coming back after
I
that.
told you.
And nigga, I told you that would make me public enemy number one. Like nigga, I would be Kevin
Bro,
Owens times
yes,
Tomatonga.
cause I'm gonna injure the fuck out of him. I'm gonna probably pull, somebody move, but obviously I'm gonna
Like
drop his ass straight on his head.
I ain't
And they
even
gonna
talking about
change
to the
his
wrestlers.
character.
I'm talking about to the creative. Y'all
Oh
niggas
yeah,
made me
everybody.
do this shit just so y'all could get this. Y'all wanted this nigga to have one victory over me and then he lost it.
And now that it's me, yeah, y'all
Like,
gotta
And
dodge.
like,
now you need me to help bring this title back some credibility. And that's all we could pretty much do from there.
no, because then as soon as I win the championship, you know what I'ma hear? You know what? Let me go. You know what? This might seem like I'm being petty, but you know what? I don't give a damn. Cause I want y'all to hear this pain. Cause see, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been watching this full podcast, we have brought up one name 7 times. Just imagine you carrying the world title.
You could end it at that. You could have ended it at that first little note.
Just imagine the fear in your goddamn stomach as he's walking down to the ring in them UFC shorts and them big ass gloves.
I don't even think I can have a Nation of Domination with me because I think they just gonna book us all to get beat that same night.
It'll
Like,
be a 5v1 and Brock's still gonna come out victorious,
All right,
barely
Brock
injured.
still come out on no scratches, nothing. He can suplex everybody.
so it's just, that's just,
He
I
can
don't
put
know.
somebody
Like,
through the ring. Somebody, got put in a Kimura. We got 2 broken arms. It ain't enough ambulances out there to save us.
He done throw
it's
some nigga
just,
into the crowd.
I can't, I can't think to myself how I would feel if that was me though. As soon as I get the title, he just come out and he better not be Mr. Money in the Bank. I ain't gonna
Like,
lie to you.
who the fuck
I'm
signed
gonna put the
Brock?
belt down. Like I'm just gonna put the belt down. I'm gonna get out the ring. Like nigga, you
Two
want
middle
it? Go
fingers
go
and
ahead,
just
get it.
walk off.
Nah, I would say nah. See, that's the thing. Brock gonna have to catch me. He gonna have to literally catch me. I'm just taking off. Anytime Brock think he catching, he better catch it. I'm running.
Hey, I'm gonna wait soon as do his little interest and he go to like jump up on the ropes. I'm gonna fly clean over his ass and just take off. Go to the next city.
As soon as he jump up, I'm sliding right through his legs and I'm running right up the ramp. I'm gone.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
like
That shit would be
like
funny as
we didn't
hell.
book
Cause
that.
I could just,
Like
I get,
Like
I
he
get,
doing that little shit, and he about to jump up, and you like, you hit the rope, hook, gone.
Just see him over.
see now
I'm
you
gone.
gotta yank that nigga leg off for the top two. You gotta yank that nigga leg off, let his ass go face
As
first on the
soon as you
goddamn,
slide it out, you yup, come here.
yank his ass and then run. Paul Heyman
Hey,
ass ain't gonna catch me,
Oh,
nigga.
first time we found
I'm
ass.
bringing back real
Muff the shit
CTE
out
chair
that nigga.
shots.
Oh, nigga.
I'm
Like,
sorry for like, hey, look, Brax, you gotta get hit with this chair for real this time. Yeah, I know it's been a couple
for
years,
sure.
but you
Hey, you
gotta.
remember Matt Hardy hit his ass with that chair?
Lord,
Oh
they just
yeah.
said they sent his ass on a beating. I was watching those clips last night.
That
I
shit was
got
so
a
funny. He said, Linka.
I was watching the thing that they had dropped for Sting on the network from like, when he went into like the Crow era. And it's like, me and my daughter were just sitting there watching it. It was like she was actually interested in it, which is like kind of hilarious for me at first, but it was like, Sting one of my top three, so it makes sense. And then I showed her Matt and Jeff, and as soon as they got to doing the chair shot, she was like, "Oh no, Dada!" I was just like, "Yeah, let me turn this off. Those are CTE chair shots, baby." It's a reason now that most of them,
It's fucked up.
can't
We
think
gotta
straight,
explain
baby.
chair shots to kids.
Because they used to be
Because like,
cracking niggas. I
bro,
would say everybody knows about the infamous Rock, what he did to Mankind. That shit right
the
there, that
chair. Even Cody headshot, bro. Cody literally got hit with the chair in the front of his head. They didn't realize like that. Yeah, if a chair hits you over the head, it could still, do that to the back of your head. The chair got caught over his head for mere seconds and then split him open. Like, hey,
So
Sean Spears, he made a gimmick out of that. Like, yeah, I get your ass real CT, send you to WWE and win the world title. You'll forget shit ever happened.
it's just, I wonder if Cody Rhodes did wake up and just
Damn.
like where's CM Punk at? Oh, he went where? Oh, he coming.
I thought I was wrestling Punk tonight. Did Spears
Nah,
come out
nigga.
yet?
He was like, nah.
absolutely, yeah, wrestling's no different, especially when they do want to, like, specifically, like, yeah, I'll take that shot. But I'm like, you crazy. If somebody was like, yeah, I want to hit you over the head with a fucking steel chair, no.
No. It's the new death matches, like seeing like how watching those from the old Japanese death matches to now, it's like these motherfuckers literally we're gonna stab each other with a few forks and from there
Never
we're gonna bust these
understood
light
that.
tubes over each other. Like
I take
GCW be
I
doing
take a
some
chair
shit.
shot. I take a chair shot to the head.
Oh, I definitely give me a chair shot. You're not gonna stab me with a fork.
A nigga's
I'll
not
take a light
nigga.
tube. Light tube gonna break.
Nah, nigga, that's too much glass, nigga. It might
That's
fuck around
less.
and hit
It's
my
that
eye.
stuff that's in the lights too. I'm like, that shit go fuck you
Bro,
up.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
we
I
accidentally
can't
put
take no light
ourselves
bulb.
through glass before.
Yeah, I ain't
Accidentally.
gonna. Yeah, that shit was kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie
I
to you.
take
Yeah,
the
y'all niggas
glass
had a
over the
whole
chair.
ECW match.
I take glass over chair any day because that chair, it's gonna take a few different go throughs for me to go through that motherfucker. I could just go through the glass and that's it. That's it. That's all that's done with the glass. Yeah, I got a couple little scars in me, but at least I'm not reading like a motherfucker just sitting there holding my hand like damn. It's like this really hurts right here. I take glass or barbed wire over a chair any day.
Yeah, nah, definitely not gonna hit me with one of them lights, cause I was, you remember having that all out when Shorty hit, when little leg hit Shorty with them lights. Shorty collapsed.
Mm-hmm. We got my little special guest right here. I'm doing a little snack. So with these little 8 minutes left, I want to talk about wrestling as a whole has been getting interesting lately. And a person that you know has a lot to say about wrestling that hasn't been in the business for a while is Vince Russo. Vince Russo said on his podcast, y'all check it out. Y'all see what y'all think about it. He says that if WWE even offered, he wouldn't even accept a Hall of Fame induction. And I find it so funny that the nigga think anybody would be offering.
I was gonna say, who the fuck
Don't nobody,
cares?
don't nobody want to watch. Don't nobody give a fuck about Vince Russo.
No, everybody
Did
hates
David
Vince
Arquette
Russo.
get one?
I don't even know if David Arquette got one, but hell, he more in line for one than goddamn Donald Trump got one before Buddy. Can we
Just
just
because
remember that?
Vince
Vince
Russo, like
Russo?
Vince Russo, literally tried to kill WWE when he went to WCW and started writing for them.
Oh man,
Then went to go
Vince
write for
Russo.
TNA and almost ruined TNA.
So it's just like I find it crazy that
Yeah, that
you
Dixie Carter
thought
era was no.
you thought anybody was gonna care enough in the first place. Oh, I wouldn't accept the Hall of Fame thing. Nobody asked if
We
you
were
was.
offering. Nobody, I ain't never hear somebody in
Hey,
their life say, "Yeah, you know who should get a Hall of Fame induction? Vince Russo." Motherfucking give
I
one
would have
to
responded from the
what's his
WWE
name?
channel
Give
like,
one to
no, bro, we ain't interested.
give one to Bischoff before you give one to Russo.
Like Nick, I would give two more for Booker T. I would give Booker T an extra one just because he was on the Raw version of the NWO.
Hell no, I'll re-induct Vince McMahon just because of that.
I'll let Chris Benoit get one then. Fuck it.
Yeah, I'm
Before
saying
Eric
Chris
Bischoff.
At
Benoit
this
over that,
point, bro,
bro.
Kevin
Like,
Sullivan too.
nah,
Kevin, we'll give Kevin Dunn one before we give one to Russo.
not what Chris said. Not that nigga.
Induct Benoit and Kevin Sullivan in the same night.
Boy, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll be in an outrage. My dear boy, I have a boy. My side quest episode gonna be as long as the podcast when I talk
Hey,
smack.
bro, it'll get dark as hell.
I ain't gonna lie
It
to
will
you.
get
I'ma
very
act the
dark.
ass.
Like, so this is what we're doing today in wrestling.
So nah, I just find it crazy that Buddy really thought that anybody's gonna give a fuck enough for this. Like, I get it.
He doesn't realize
You
that
know, you wrote for the business. I get that. You got a certain feel for what you think good wrestling is.
it's like how Dave Meltzer's like 5-star scale is. It's like that's how you objectively feel, but that's not how the wrestling community feels.
Right.
Because everybody's
Because
entitled
we can
to
say that
everybody's
all
entitled to their own
matches five
opinion. Yeah,
star. Yeah.
everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but just because you say a match has a certain caliber doesn't mean that somebody else can't see that match as being a 5-star classic banger match. But you be like, oh,
Right.
that's a 2-star match. And it's like, well, I see it as a 5-star. Just because we disagree doesn't mean that my opinion not as relevant as yours.
Right.
Extent.
I do not understand that scale. I've tried to for the last couple months
The
or
scale
so, but
makes
it's
no
like,
sense. It just makes
yeah.
no sense.
At
But I mean,
all.
hey, somebody made it credible enough to where it was like worth opinion enough,
Yeah,
and then
for
that's
that
what
shit
it's
to
like with,
last
yeah, how they do
20
that.
some
Yeah.
years. I can
Yeah.
understand
But
all
it's
that.
like, hey,
But we're talking about we going from like the personal viewer, which Buddy is. He's a personal viewer of wrestling. He has no ties to any of these companies. Do he might like a few guys better than some other guys? Hint, hint.
hey, some got some matches that's over a 5 star, but it's like,
I'm just it's
that's his personal opinion on that match. It was that good.
but
Some of those matches we could be like, no, it was at mere 4, mere 3,
but
mere
coming
3.5.
coming from the writer's standpoint of everything, don't nobody really give a fuck about what your opinions is for it. You wrote the shit. Of course, you
Yeah.
got a certain feel for what the fuck you think wrestling could be. But
Exactly.
here's the thing, though. You decided to shit on these type of things. Like he said, like he don't understand why these guys cry over these achievements and stuff like that. Like, but here's the thing. You haven't been training your whole life to get to this moment. You've been waiting to write moments where it's used. These guys are actually sitting here
Risking their body and lives.
to do something that they love, but you don't understand why they're crying. So you mean you going out there by Gorilla to give Big Show a hug and cry with him when he won his WCW title? You talking about the moments where you've written all of these other things that's supposed to be cinematic in your time, But you gonna shit on Jay Uso crying with the fans? He been wrestling there for years under a tag team, not even being considered his own man.
He's a twin. That's all I saw, man.
When you see the Usos, you usually think tag team. Now, when you think about the Usos, you think main event Jay Uso, then tag team.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tag team will never outdo solo runs because that shit has lasted for a while and they had some of their best moments together.
Right.
But solo wise, if we was having a conversation about this for real, Jay Uso is the better one. Achievement wise, Jimmy might be a little bit more funnier, might be a little bit more real on the mic. Jay Uso had to learn that. I'm sorry. There was a reason that Jimmy was holding the mic way more than Jay. It's a
I
reason
mean,
why
you know,
Jay
that's
was
the
the
big
ad
brother, little
lib.
brother contrast in that.
It's just like,
Because, like, I believe Jimmy was in first, you know, because he was in under his own name, and then they had, you know, Jay under, like,
I think I
Jules
was at,
something.
I think Chris is right. I think I do remember hearing about that when I was watching like a
Yeah,
story
like
about his career.
early NXT, yeah.
it's just
Jimmy
like,
was in already.
it's just like personally, you don't understand it because you write for it. You're not actually the wrestler. So for shitting on somebody for having their own real emotions for winning something that they've been waiting to do as a kid, like that's just weak as hell.
No,
Because
Dave
why do you
Meltzer,
care that
he's the
much?
biggest hypocrite when it comes to that because he can't understand that like these guys are literally working their ass off from like the moment they have this dream of achieving this. So yeah, you're gonna get emotional once you do achieve it. Like that's just human nature. Like you're not gonna do something you wanted to do your entire life and just be like, hooray, I did it. Like, no, you're gonna be in a
Yeah.
fucking like a heap of emotions. You're not gonna understand like how to feel because it's like, holy shit, I finally did this thing that I've wanted to do for the longest time. My entire family is here watching me. The people I care about is watching me. I have a million people watching this moment with me right now, experiencing this.
And
The
reacting to it.
people that
Like, how the
Whether
care.
fuck?
you boo
How
or
Who
cheer,
who
you're
else was out
reacting
there
to me
with
getting
him?
my
that's
moment.
what I'm saying. Like, how the fuck am I
Right.
not
The
supposed to
fans is
feel a type of
what
way?
make the character. You got to do part with the fans to help get your character over. So it's
Facts.
like he won that with the fans' help. Go celebrate with your people. That's all you got to go do. Go out there in the crowd. Same thing Eddie did. So what? You gonna say Eddie wasn't supposed to get in the crowd?
See, here's the thing though. Just like how y'all are saying, this is how this goes. Wrestler to fan emotions for the business is way more different than a writer's opinion for the business. You've already written, you've done shit for the company. Woohoo. You wrote some shit for the company. You are not out there actually displaying the talent and shit that makes it. You're not a fan who actually soaks in this type of shit. Because if you were, you would understand that WWE wrestling is probably at the best it's been in a long time.
Oh yeah.
Not
Oh yeah.
saying AEW ain't put on no good ass matches, but you
No,
are
they
on
just getting
AEW
started.
nuts so much because you haven't written for them.
Mm-hmm.
You want a chance to get your fingers back on into wrestling. You want to be a reason that AEW is secondary right now. You want your hands on it. But here's the problem with that. It's already a motherfucker back there that's making factions. Hurt
Mhm.
Syndicate is on the way. We still got House of Black. We still got the goddamn EVPs. We still got the goddamn Blackpool Combat Club. We still got Top Flight. We still got all of these other people. So
The Dark
please,
Order and everybody. It's like
please
you
get
got
off
enough
dick.
factions to be set.
I've noticed that about Meltzer.
Yeah.
He's very much a dick
I'm not
rider.
Meltzer. I'm talking about Russo.
Oh,
Vince Russo.
oh yeah, no, Russo's very
Yeah.
much a dick rider too. He's actually the biggest dick rider actually when it comes to it, because he can't admit when he's wrong or that he makes any mistake. Think about it. He talks about the time what he did in WWE. He can't ever just express it like I made a mistake. I fucked up.
And that's on him. But
That's
guess
on
what?
him.
Guess what? The business is going to move past you because in 15 years, nobody's going to care about the goddamn NWO. The music could still be fire. Hulk Hogan might still be old as
People
hell
are
getting
obviously
some
gonna have
money.
memories attached to this shit, but like
It's still
as
gonna be fuck
relevancy
Hulk Hogan.
wise, it's gonna keep fading out because newer shit is coming
Cause
out.
that shit's not gonna matter. As soon as your old ass die, nobody is gonna be like, damn, we lost one of the greatest minds of all time. They're gonna be like, damn, we lost a great writer that writ for WCW.
That sunk the company at the same time.
It's so many people who got a
Hey,
vengeance against you, and you probably don't give a fuck. You probably don't even give a fuck we saying this, but guess what? We don't give a fuck either.
I would say we don't give a fuck about
Hell
you.
no. You'd
But
be
it's
alright,
just
bro.
like it's just
Don't
crazy that
nobody
like
give a fuck.
how you as a writer can understand the emotions from fans and the actual wrestler. It's just weird to me that you do all of this shit, but then you go praise other shit. You go praise other shit like it's the best shit you ever seen since 2005.
Because he's stuck in that time. He can't adapt to the fact that wrestling has changed as a sport. He wants to still go to the slow wrestling that we was used to in the 90s and early 2000s. He wants that style back. And it's like, dude, the times have changed. Sorry that we're not going to keep the same shit we had 20 years ago. There's a reason that shit has to change or it's going to get fucking boring.
Exactly. But guys, with that, this has been another episode of Four Ropes for a Podcast, man. Episode 6, and you got the guys here all together during the start of the episode.
Yes, sir.
So I want y'all to get ready and tune in for the next episode because we got a little bit more to talk about. But also the return of something we ain't did in a minute. This week in wrestling, we're gonna talk about every single wrestling event from the week. That's right. We're gonna be watching SmackDown this Monday, NXT, AEW, everything. So y'all get
Yeah.
ready for
Gotta
that
double check to
episode.
see what's on the indies too.
Facts.
Maybe we might do a list of ranking all the greatest indie wrestlers. Just like the video, subscribe, comment down below which part of this show was the favorite part of it. Honestly, I think my favorite part of it would be like, how do we feel about the Motor City Machine Guns? Because I still feel like, we talk pretty well about them. We, expect good things for them. And yeah. So that's personally my own, personal take on, what's the favorite. But y'all let us know down below exactly what y'all think it is. Until then, who? I'm your boy Jada Kid. That's Broke Boy Bray. And LC from 773.